hard to describe. Flat and tinted somehow. The leaves of the dogwood in the front yard cast odd semicircular shadows and left ghostly after images on the concrete driveway. The sun itself seemed distorted, and when I looked up in my absurd glasses, I saw how it had squeezed down to a mere sickle-like sliver, golden bright around the upper edge of the dark sphere that was the moon. I actually gasped, feeling the ancient and alarming bewilderment of the thing, the unnaturalness that had generated all those myths they had been talking about on the radio, the dragon and other monsters that people had thought were trying to devour the sun. This, I thought, was an event after all, and I knew I should get Veronica up to show her. The impulse soured in my head. She would be grumpy at being woken, and would be as likely to shrug the thing off as unworthy of her attention as she was to celebrate it or share my awed and watchful silence. Guiltily, I realized that I didn't want to risk it, that I would rather experience the moment by myself, relishing the rare stillness for what it was, and keeping it as a private treasure. I got so few of those these days. I had been a professional, even a rising star. Now I was a wife and mother. I had been pushed to the side of my own life. My star eclipsed. That produced another gasp. Not awe this time, but a startled, even horrified realization. Perhaps happiness was not something I was moving toward, something coming very slowly but inexorably closer day by day. Perhaps it was both distant and locked into a separate orbit of its own, forever apart, never drawing nearer but moving as I did. Always on the other side of the moon. Eclipsed. I have thought back to that moment many times since, wishing it had been different. Perhaps if I had taken Veronica out with me or stayed indoors in the first place, things would have been different. But then again, maybe not. The eclipse was, after all, only a metaphor. My brain would have found another eventually. In any case, the following morning, it came out. I hadn't planned it. It just slid out when I wasn't looking and rolled out into view like a dropped ball. I want to go back to work. The thought that I had been pushed aside, eclipsed, had been steeping in my head all night, soaking into my consciousness as if waiting for the moment when its truth would drive out the guilt that came with it. I'm not sure that moment ever came, but it became at least familiar. Josh looked up from his cereal, his spoon hovering 2 inches from his chin, his brow wrinkled as it always did when he was choosing between things to say, gauging what I was hoping to hear. "Okay," he said. "Great. You can go part-time, work from home, right? You need more help around the house?" It was almost the right answer, but he hadn't fully grasped what I was saying. I spelled it out. I mean, I want to go full-time again. I can still work from home, but I'll have to go back to New York from time to time and will need real help here. A nanny. Again, the hovering cereal spoon, the wrinkled brow. "You've been thinking about this for a while," he said. It was almost a question, but not one I needed to answer. "Anna, you really think, the girls, you'd be okay with someone else looking after them?" Our daughters, Grace and Veronica,